Hello friends, today I will tell you about the anime A Kite. Please like our videos if you like them. Sawa met a TV star while they were riding in the elevator. The guy caressed her, despite the presence of an old neighbor. She expressed her contempt for this smug pimple, and he kicked her in the shoulder. While the old woman was trying to recover, Sawa pulled a pistol out of her suitcase and put 2 bullets in the body of the star, one in the head and the other in the chest. A couple of moments later, the bullets exploded. But Sawa was no longer in the elevator. She left the cabin through the hatch on the roof. Meanwhile, the old woman came to her senses and saw a masterpiece of abstractionism made by the brains of her neighbor on the floor and walls of the elevator. From this sight she went to the afterlife and remained lying in a corner. Sawa left the building and returned home. In the morning, Akai arrived at the crime scene. He worked in the homicide department and investigated such murders. However, Sawa did the job cleanly and Akai was satisfied. He was her guardian and Akai's teacher and wanted to make her the best assassin. And in between tasks, he filled in the gap between her legs. Sawa didn't particularly like sleeping with Akai, but no one asked her. Akai had a partner, Kani, who was responsible for equipping hired assassins and also acted as an intermediary between customers and performers. That day he met with one of them, a guy named Aubrey. He gave him a photo with 3 men saying that they were all nasty assholes. Aubrey has to kill one of them and another mercenary will take care of the rest. Aubrey waits for the victims on the escalator, blows up the car to distract the crowd and shoots at his target. Then Sawa appears and finishes what he started. After the murder, Sawa takes Aubrey to a safe place. It turns out that Aubrey, like Sawa, works for Akai and dreams of leaving him. To do this, he needs to complete 3 more tasks. Akai is also his guardian. The only difference between him and Sawa is that Akai does not shove his device between his legs. When Aubrey was leaving, some guys playing basketball in the alley sprayed him from a puddle and then asked him to throw a ball. Aubrey threw him but then shot him. The boy fell after the shot, but the girl with whom he was playing only covered herself with her hand. Akai saw it through the window and liked the girl's courage. Some time after that, Sawa came to work for Aubrey. He was a cashier in a supermarket. They got to know each other better and even spent time together eating chips. Aubrey noticed that Sawa had unusual earrings. They were dear to her because they had the blood of her parents in them. Sawa's mom and dad were killed and then Akai took her to him. He taught her how to use weapons and then threw her into bed and taught her other skills. Sawa gets a new order. This time she has to finish off a Hollywood star, or rather the twin brother of celebrity. They are like 2 drops of water, so the task is not easy. The actor himself ordered the murder for some reason. His twin brother ceased to be useful to him. The brothers went everywhere with their bodyguards. They couldn't even take a leak alone. However, Sawa was ready for this. She dressed up as a guy and sat down in the men's room where the brothers were going to go. When they appeared, Sawa calmly came out of the booth and sprayed one of the guards in the face with a spray can. The second grabbed her and lifted her off the ground and realized that it was a girl. Yes, but he didn't manage to hold Sawa for a long time. She used spikes that popped out of special bracelets to pierce the bodyguard's hands. Then she took out a pistol and shot one of the brothers. However, she doubted for a long time who exactly to kill. At that moment, another bodyguard burst into the toilet and opened fire on Sawa. However, she managed to hide in the booth when the guard came up and was preparing to shoot her. She shot first and killed him. Then the big guy attacked her, to whom Sawa pierced her hands. He took the gun from her, threw it into the wall and pinned her head with his foot. Sawa did not lose her head and pierced her leg with spikes from bracelets. Jumping aside, she grabbed the gun and finished what she started. But then the bodyguard blinked, who received a charge of cheerfulness in the face from a pepper spray can. He knocked the weapon out of Sawa's hands and fired when she put her hand in her pocket. The bullet passed near her head and broke one of the earrings in response. Sawa threw a miniature bomb at the enemy. The explosives tore the room to shreds, but Sawa was unharmed. But when she was standing at the hole in the wall facing the street, a second bodyguard attacked her. He drank her out and the 2 of them flew to the ground with terrifying speed. Sawa remembered her first murder. That day Akai brought her to the subway and pointed to the bound man Sawa did not want to kill. But Akai said that in front of her was an inveterate scoundrel, and he deserved to die. Only after that she shot. From that day on, her new life as an assassin began. At the same moment, she got the right to wear earrings with the blood of her parents. However, now she had no time to doubt whether to kill or not. A hefty man was wearing it and they flew together to the ground. Sawa managed to catch on to the signboard, but the bodyguard did not let her go. The girl's young hands could not stand it, and they fell down again. The guard pulled out a gun and started shooting at her, but Sawa managed to climb on top of him. She punched the bodyguard of the covered passage between the buildings. Then they crashed on the car. It broke through the floor of the crossing and collapsed on a truck standing at the intersection. The truck was also unlucky, as were the people in the subway. Because it fell down, an explosion occurred and Sawa was thrown into a neighboring building. She successfully hit the window and saved her life. But the bodyguard seems to be out of luck. When Akai arrived at the murder scene, he noticed Sawa's gun on the floor and quietly took it away. The girl's earring was left here, but Akai just stepped on it. Then he was informed that the police had a witness to the crime. It was the second twin to see him. Akai realized that Sawa had killed the wrong brother while Kani stuffed another youngster in her bed. Like Akai, he liked younger girls. At that moment, Akai showed up to talk to him. After leaving Kani, he talked with Sawa. The girl was indignant that Akai did not find the earring for her at the crime scene. However, Akai did not care about such trifles because she left a witness and even killed the wrong brother. He slapped Sawa in the face. She decided that she got it for nothing because it was Kani who gave her the wrong tip. Leaving Akai, she went to the Auberry Road. Sawa went to the store and bought a treat. He and Auberry drank tea and chatted a little.
Shibu.
Oishii.
Then Kane called him to indicate a new target. The guy took a gun and was about to leave, but Sawa pointed her weapon at him. She admitted that Akai ordered him to be killed by Auberry. In turn, said that her parents were killed by Akai and Kani. Only Sawa knew about it and carefully prepared her revenge. She did not kill Auberry. She just made him promise that he would return to her. Auberry met with Kani, and he gave the boy a picture of his new victim. The man with the photo worked with the prosecutor's office. According to Kani, this man is a bribe taker and a criminal, and it would not be a pity to shoot him. At the moment he is riding in the last subway car, Auberry has to deal with him on the train, and he uses his favorite way of killing. When the train stops at the station, Auberry detonates explosives to distract people and then pulls out a gun and prepares to shoot. But the man also turned out to be armed and reacted very quickly. He pulled the trigger first, and then when his bullet passed by, disarmed the enemy. Auberry managed to escape, but the man opened fire on him randomly and killed one of the passengers. The boy grabbed his gun and jumped into the next car. Here the enemy caught up with him and was preparing to kill him, but did not have time. Sawa was at the station and shot at his gun, which shattered into pieces while the man was distracted by Auberry, jumped over him, grabbed his weapon, threw a miniature bomb at the victim and shot at them. The explosion destroyed not only his target, but also part of the car. At that moment, Akai was taking a leak in the toilet. Outside was the girl who had recently played basketball in the alley. Auberry made his way to the toilet. He put a knife to the guardian's throat and asked who the deceased was, and Akai admitted that Auberry had ordered a policeman from the Special Forces unit. The boy gave the boss an ultimatum. They would part today and Akai should not pursue him, otherwise he would die. Auberry also admitted that Sawa would leave with him. At that moment, Akai took advantage of the fact that the light turned off for a couple of seconds and attacked the boy. When Auberry pulled out a gun, Akai ran away. He ambushed him outside the door and then beat him. Kani came out on the noise. Seeing Auberry, he took out a knife and was about to cut him, but Sawa appeared and sent the knife blade into Akai's ear with a well-aimed shot. She ran up to Auberry to check what condition he was in. Meanwhile, Akai noticed the boy's gun at his feet and gave a sign to Kani. He moved his leg. Sawa noticed it and was distracted by him, and Akai at that moment picked up the weapon and fired. The bullet hit the girl's gun. When she was left unarmed, Kane jumped up and knocked her out. While Kane wanted to just kill these two, Akai forced Auberry to watch him take Sawa. He told the girl that he would kill her boyfriend if she resisted. Sawa had to accept the terms of the guardian in the process. She began to have fun. Akai realized that she was still on his side. When he finished, Kani dragged Auberry away. Sawa pretended that she was completely devoted to Akai to find out where her friend was taken. And Akai said that the boy would be killed in the same place where Sawa killed her first victim. At that moment, the girl left, and the next day, Akai found Kani's pipe. He was lying in the place where Sawa's parents' house had recently been. Now there was a parking lot. Akai realized where to look for the killer and went to the sewers. He thought that this Auberry had killed his partner, so he approached the man in the shadow without fear. But it turned out to be Sawa. She admitted that she had killed Kani herself.
Sawa.
After which she shot Akai with pleasure. When she finished, she threw away her remaining earring. When it was over, Auberry continued to take care of the cats he was feeding, all the while he was bringing them treats. And in the alley, the girl who had recently played basketball was waiting for him. Akai recruited her after that incident, and the girl shot Auberry when he didn't expect it at all. Sawa was waiting for him at home. She was lying on the floor at that moment. The door to the apartment opened and Sawa turned to the entrance, not knowing what was waiting for her there. That's all for today. Put likes and write comments if you liked the video.